Hey, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Fix Your Belief Systems, or Fix Your BS as you more commonly know it, where we talk about the 5 pillars of life: relationships, business or career, health, finances, and belief or faith. And today we have a very special guest. I saw her originally on Instagram. And as you all know, one of my goals and one of my dreams in life is to own a jet someday, which I'm working towards. And she has an entire Instagram page of being on and in and around jets. And I thought it was so cool. Her Instagram name is Elite Jet Pammy, but I'm going to introduce her as Pamela Cortes. So she is with Elite Jet Services, and she has been in the aviation industry since February of 2006. Now she has clients and is hoping to grow more each year. Her passion is taking flight departments and streamlining their operation and making it much more efficient and taking away the stress from the crew, which we always like taking stress away from people. So I'm going to, Elite Jet Pammy, we're going to say welcome to the Fix Your BS podcast. And thank you for being here.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. Yeah. So everybody needs to hear this, because this is one of the things that so many people mess up in their life, is that they don't step out of their comfort zone and do the thing that they really feel passionate that they know they should do, and they never do it because of fear. And Pam is a great example of somebody that stepped out of their comfort zone and into an unknown territory in order to do something that she loves. So, Pam, I'm going to let you take it away and just talk a little bit about your background and where you came from, and then what courage or what it took in order for you to step into what you're currently doing.
Absolutely. So, of course, I was in this industry since 2006. So almost 18 years in the corporate world. A Monday through Friday, not really 9 to 5 job with aviation, but having to be in the office, you have an employer, you're a W-2 employee. And basically, like you said, fear is everything. I mean, fear is what holds you back. You're just in this comfort zone of doing what you're expected to do every day, same thing every day. And I was finally pushed to the limit. But I did have a big support system. My boyfriend, of course, he was just, you need to do this on your own. You can do it on your own. You have the potential of having your own clients. Like you said, industry is a very small industry, but it's not at the same time, which is really weird to explain. But, he just really pushed me to do it. And you just finally have to say, you know what, I'm doing it. And it's just pushing yourself over that ledge, and it just, without any hesitation. And that really, I finally said no more. And that's what I did.
Well, that is awesome. And so many people do reach that point of no more. That's part of my story, actually, is I reached a point in 2018 of, can I keep doing what I'm doing the way I'm doing it the rest of my life? Am I fulfilled? And the answer was absolutely not. So you reached that point. What do you think, or how did you get to that point where you were like, you know what? The pain of staying where I'm at and doing what I'm doing is less than the potential pain of messing up and stepping out into this fear.
It's really finally realizing your own self-worth, honestly. Mm-hmm. And also having that support system and finding these clients that just know what you're worth and what you bring to the table, and are so appreciative that you stop and think, you're like, wow, like people actually appreciate what you do, and it makes you think, where I am I appreciative? Do they realize what I bring to the table? And that's pretty much how you separate that corporate world into your own, self, I'm going to be my own boss situation. So that's how
you said that. So you're so correct with that, is just stepping out into that unknown. And so many people, I always say, one of the biggest catastrophes in people's lives is that they give up on themselves. And the fact that you just said, like, you had to figure out your own self-worth. You had to go, you know what? I am worth going after my own dreams. I'm worth, seeing what I'm made of and seeing if it's possible. And what I find is when I talk to people on this podcast on a regular basis is that when they get to that point and they go out on their own and they go, I'm going to do it no matter what they find is that it's so worth it. And all the fear that they had, most of it was not even real anyway. Did you find out that same type of thing?
Yes. And, and it's also just building these great relationships before you do the jump is also a big help in that. And that's what I meant by like this industry is such a small industry, but it's not, because everybody knows everybody. Everything is word of mouth in this industry, but there's so many operators out there, so many potential clients that you can reach out to them. And just knowing that, just that building these relationships with this industry and just knowing that you can help streamline their operation, that's what gets me. That's what's like, you know what, I can do this on my own. I don't need an employer, telling me, that I'm not worth it, but just, not the same as what I fulfilled myself doing as my own boss.
Yeah, that's awesome. So talk to me a little bit about your day-to-day job, because I think a lot of people are like, wow, that's amazing. But what does she actually do? So let's talk about, you're considered an aircraft scheduler. Is that pretty much how you would define it, right? So talk to me about what that is and tell everybody we always call it the 8-color Crayola set version, just the simple, like, what is that and how does it work? And, what's the problem you're solving?
So I am pretty much the middleman between the pilots and airports, streamlining their operation, meaning they have a trip, they call me and I schedule it from A to Z. I make sure fuel is in place. I make sure the airports that we're coming to know we're coming. I make sure their accommodations are all set. I make sure, I do international handling as well. So if they're going international, I make sure the permits are in place. Pretty much just streamlining the whole operation on that part.
Streamlining things and taking out all the guesswork and the middleman and all the frustration. A buddy of mine named Dan Martell, he introduced his book to me. I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but it's called Buy Back Your Time. And what you're basically doing is you're helping people buy back their time by taking out all the scheduling and all the in between stuff, so that it's like, this is what you want, great, here it is, I've got it all set up, hop on the plane and get in your time machine and speed the process up.
Especially for the pilots, it really helps them because they don't want to deal with that. The owner's calling, hey, I want to go here, I'm changing this. It's like, all right, Pam's got it. They don't want to deal with that stuff.
That's awesome. So tell me a little bit about, like, everybody wants to know about when you meet, if you're in a private jet or if you're dealing with traveling around, you probably meet famous people. You probably meet some influencers or influential people or just famous in general. Dive into that. How many, what kind of famous people have you met, and what did you find out about them?
I've met quite a few celebrities that are up there right now. I mean, I really shouldn't say who they are yet. I don't know if I can, but I mean, it's funny because these celebrities, you see them on TV and they're one way, and then when you meet them in person, it's like a completely different situation. They're the ones that I've met at least are super nice. Of course you have the demanding ones, but they're pretty much all the same. They're really nice to you. They just want to get on the airplane and just go, basically.
Yeah. Take care of everything so I can just get on the airplane and go,
exactly.
Please. Yeah, that's awesome. So if somebody was looking to, like, let's say they're looking to start off in the aviation industry, or they're just looking to get started into that, like, what kind of resources or what would you recommend for them to do if they're looking into anything in the aviation industry?
Well, there's a lot of courses out there, that's for sure. There's a lot of big shows that they can attend. We have the biggest one, which is the NBAA, that they can go and just talking to different people in the different world of aviation, the pilots, the flight attendants, the air traffic controllers, the dispatchers. I mean, we have so many different aspects of the industry that they can get into. If they don't want to fly, they can do air traffic control, or they can just, they can be a flight attendant, they can be a dispatcher. There's different ways of getting into that. And I'm not really sure. I mean, school, obviously you have the schooling, there's different aviation schooling that they can go to and just research it.
Yeah, that's awesome. So what do you have a favorite plane or a favorite jet or a favorite? Tell me about some of your favorite stuff about what you do, and just things that you found out over the years that maybe are interesting.
My favorite is the Gulfstream. I mean,
Mm,
my last employer had a G650, and that is my favorite. Just the design of it, the performance of it. Knowing that it doesn't need a fuel stop, which is good for
mm.
me because it's less work. But yeah, that's my favorite type of airplane. Now, of course, you got the little ones that you got the helicopters that are really cool. You got the prop airplanes they're pretty cool, but I mean, there's nothing like a G650.
Okay, well, that's cool. I mean, of course, the Gulfstream G650. You've got to love that, right? Um, would you prefer a jet or a helicopter? Like, what do you like riding in better?
The jet, of course,
Of
you get
course.
there
Yeah,
faster.
you get there faster. Yeah. Well, cool. Is there anything like that I don't know, any perks of the job that you were like, oh, hey, this is cool. I didn't expect that this was part of it. Anything like that?
I mean, yeah, I get to ride on the airplanes once in a blue moon, and just being there, and just dealing with the pilots, and just knowing that you're just helping them out. That I think to me that's the coolest thing, and you meet so many different people. It's the whole aspect of it is very exciting to me.
Yeah. I saw on your Instagram page there was a video of you taking or there was a video of somebody. I'm assuming it was you that you took of Grant Cardone's jet. Was that something that was on the tarmac? Tell me about that
Yeah.
experience.
Yeah, I mean, being on the tarmac, you see all different kinds of airplanes. Because I'm always at Fontainebleau Aviation. You have Cardone, you have Drake. I mean, there's so many different airplanes that you just get to see, and you witnessed it, and you get to just videotape it all. I mean, obviously they're not walking on the airplane, but at least you get the whole airplane vision of it.
Back in 2000 and I think it was 2020 actually. I went to Grant Cardone's growth conference. I went in 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022. Anyway, but I think it was 2020 where they actually took us to the airplane hangar and his jet was there. That was the first year I think he had his jet, which I don't know what kind of jet he actually has. I don't know if it's a Gulfstream or
Yeah,
G650 or what it is. I don't know a ton about jets. What did you say?
it's a 650.
Oh, okay, got it. All right, well, good to know. All right, now I know, and everybody listening knows too. But that was a really cool experience for me because we were in the hangar and he had like Rick Ross was the entertainer and it was ridiculous. I was just like, how is this guy? Yeah, he just overdoes it every time. But it was cool to just be there. Like, wow, we're in a hangar with a guy that owns a jet and there's this jet, and it was one of those things that was like, if he can do it, I can do it. Like, how can I make that happen? And it opens up that belief system to where you're like, oh, maybe it is possible for me to do that if I just put the right actions into play over time. What are some things that maybe opened your eyes up to and changed your beliefs about what was possible for you in this industry when you did take that leap from something that was more considered traditional to something that was considered on your own and not so traditional?
I think it was more being able to juggle my personal life with my career life now. Because of course there's no balance in aviation.
Mm,
I mean, my job is a 24-hour, 7 days a week job. I have a client that calls me anytime. And of course I have a 10-year-old son. So it was kind of hard for me before. So I was like, it's going to be harder now since now I'm my own boss and I can't just tell my clients, hey, my son is crying or, anything. But just being able to juggle both, and it's pretty neat, and it helps, especially when your significant other is in the same industry as you. Remember, I'm a female in it's a very male predominant industry.
mm,
So I see what also it can do to relationships firsthand.
mm.
So it's not easy when the other person doesn't understand that. So yeah, I mean, just being able to juggle both for me is what is just a big thing.
So talk about that for a minute, because we talk a lot about relationships as well. I mean, having a job that you just mentioned that is 24/7, that's constant, and the support of your significant other, especially, having a 10-year-old as well. Tell me, just talk into that a little bit, about the relationship and the expectations and the conversations that you guys have.
It's so funny because he's the one that pushes me, more to, hey, did you get any more clients? Did you do this? Did you do that? And it's me that's kind of like standoffish a little because it's scary. Before, like I was a W-2 employee, so it didn't matter how many clients I have. But now it's like, wow, I need to start making money. I don't have that support of the bi-weekly checks anymore. So, having that support system is so helpful. And like I said, just him knowing, what I do, and it helps me a lot because sometimes I don't know it all. Obviously, nobody knows it all in this industry. And I ask a lot of questions, and I'm always asking, it depends because he's an aircraft mechanic. So there's a lot of things that I don't know about the airplane that I'm like, oh, what is that airplane? Or what is it? Look, I'll post something and I won't even know the name of the airplane. It's like, babe, what is that? And he'll help me out. And then it's just, it's just like a dual relationship that helps each other.
Yeah, no, that's so cool because my wife and I were down in Memphis not too long ago, and there was a guy there, and we were celebrating our anniversary, and there was a guy there that asked us like, oh, how long have you been married? And we said 19 years. And he goes, wow, what's the secret of a long-term relationship? And I said, well, the secret really is that my job as a spouse is to help her become the best she can possibly be in whatever she wants to do. It's to support that. It's to be selfless in that support. And then her job is to do the same to me. And if we're consistently doing that, building each other up, you can see how that will build a really great connection. Whereas most people become very selfish in their relationship. They go, well, what have you done for me lately? And my dreams matter and your dreams are blah, 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 and whatever. They don't really play into that selflessness. And that's what you were basically talking into there, which is awesome.
Yeah.
No way. I'm sorry. What'd you say?
We definitely help each other in that aspect.
Yeah. And you have to. Communication plays a huge role in that too, right? So one of the things that you mentioned in your Instagram page that I really, really liked was you had a quote on your statement that says, if you're not working to better yourself, then what are you doing? I love that. Like, if you're not working to better yourself, then what are you doing? Like, you're going to either get worse or get better. And if you're not working on getting better, then what are you doing? I love that.
It's the point, it's exactly how I felt leaving the corporate world into my own, it's like, I'm trying to better myself. How can I better myself? And it's just, it's building myself up, and helping people that understand you and appreciate you. And like I said, know your worth. That's, yeah.
How important is it when you talk about knowing your worth? How important is it for you to have other people know your worth? Or is it more important to have you know your worth?
I think it's more important that I know my worth. I mean, there's going to be, I have clients that, I do stuff for that, they don't know what you're worth, or, they don't appreciate you, but it comes with it. It is what it is. You know what you do, you know what you bring to the table. And I think that's the most important thing. Because if not, you're going to get stuck in that situation again, and I'm just going to go back to a W-2 employer.
Right. But that's what confidence is, right? Confidence is having self-worth no matter what other people, what they're saying, or what, they don't think that you're valuable. Okay, well, who cares what they think? Man, I know I have value.
Exactly. Yeah.
What are some tips that people can put into place, or how did you get to that point where you're like adding value to yourself until you go, I'm a valuable person?
It's pretty much to stop caring what people think about you. And that's the biggest thing. There's going to be people that are going to be, talking bad about you, especially on Instagram. There's some pretty nasty people out there, with their comments, and you can't get away from that. And you just got to remember, you know what? I know what I do, and I you just know what you're worth. Doesn't matter
especially when they're hiding behind a keyboard. People can be so mean when they're hiding behind a keyboard. Like, would you say that to my face? No,
absolutely not.
I like some of your photos too on Instagram that you put out there of different jets, like a G280. which obviously is a little bit different than a G650. And you've got helicopter stuff, and then a Phenom 300, which I didn't know anything about. So you just got some really interesting stuff, and people should really just go to your Instagram and just kind of look around, because it's really cool to see, different things that are outside of your normal element. Most people are used to going into the airport, getting onto their jet or whatever from a major airline, flying to their destination and going that way. But going into a private jet is a different experience.
Completely.
Do you remember like the first time that happened for you, or tell me about that?
Oh my God. And I was so young. Like I said, I was back in 2006. I literally I answered an ad. I mean, I didn't even know what I was doing. I didn't even know I wanted to be in aviation. And I remember just walking in there, and I remember walking on the tarmac and just looking at these, private jets, and it's like, wow, this is crazy. Like, this is what rich people and celebrities fly in, and I'm sitting here getting on one, and looking around, and, and I was able to fly on them. The pilots be like, oh, let's go fly. Let's go do some test runs. It's like, okay, it's like, it's a totally different world than the airline world. That's for sure.
Yeah. All right. Well, is there anything else you'd like to, you'd like to add, or any insights to help people just take that risk or take that step that you took, and figuring out, what they really want to do, and taking that leap of faith into it?
You just got to know what you want. I mean, if you want to be stuck in that, that corporate world, like I said, if you're happy with that, then that's fine. I wasn't happy with that, and I knew I needed to get out. So just know that, it's so fulfilling when you finally can sit back and say, wow, like I did it. This is my thing. This is what I'm doing, and I don't have anybody, telling me that I can't take a vacation or do this or I have to be in the office. It's so fulfilling. It really is.
And you said something really profound there that people might have missed. And it was about, if you're happy doing that, then that's great. Like, find your happiness and do that, because we're not here forever. And if you can figure out how to be content. I was listening to a guy yesterday, and he was talking about, you can earn as much money as you want to earn, and people are going to forget that you earned that much money. I mean, there's billionaires out there right now. There was a guy that I met not too long ago that was worth $4 billion, and you would know him. Nobody, it's like, okay. The reason why he's worth $4 billion is because he loves figuring out businesses and making money and expanding them. That's just what he does. And it expanded into a big net worth. But his goal wasn't to have a big net worth. That was just what he loved to do. And that was the result. And that was really interesting to me. You can build a lot of businesses, and you're probably not going to be remembered, but having a content and fulfilled and happy existence is really the purpose of what we're here to do. Experience stuff that you enjoy and figure out what that stuff is and keep doing it. Would you agree to that?
Absolutely. I mean, when you love what you do, and then you take it and you run with it, and, you build something from it. I mean, it's the best feeling ever. I mean, just the different relationships that you're going to be building with other people in that industry. And it's amazing feeling. It really is.
That's awesome. Well, Pam, I think I'll call you Pammy from now on. So, Pammy, I really appreciate you being on the Fix Your Belief Systems podcast. Everyone needs to go to her Instagram page. The link is going to be below, but the Instagram link is Elite Jet Pammy. Elite Jet Pammy. Her name's Pamela Cortes, and this has been an absolute joy for me, because I got to do research on your Instagram page with all these different jets and everything, and I've learned a little bit about different jets now just talking with you, which is really cool. So the next time I'm in your area, we will definitely have to hang out maybe around the tarmac and see what's going on and check it out. But
absolutely, you can even film the departures.
See, that's what I'm talking about. I'll definitely do that for sure. Well, thank you for being on this, and everyone, click the link. Make sure you find out about Elite Jet Pammy. She'll probably have information for you if you do want to take any private jets or any private charters is the word I'm looking for. She could probably help you out and guide you in the right direction if you're interested in aviation in any way, shape, or form. I'm sure she'll take some direct messages. This has been another episode of Fix Your Belief Systems, Fix Your BS with me, Dr. Greg Pursley, also known as Dr. G. Thank you for my having my guest on today, Elite Jet Pammy with Elite Jet Services. Go ahead, check her out. Check out the website. It is going to be something that I don't know. I think you'll be very intrigued by it like I was. Thanks for watching. We'll see you at the next episode where we will help you build your dream life on your terms. And I look forward to delivering more content and more value each and every time we hop on. Thanks, Pam, for being on, and we'll see everybody next time.